mind. You'll never be satisfied. Blame the divine. Eventually they'll find the time. And what if I believe you? Or what if I
Welcome back to Whiskey Oval _TV. Eldora 100 lapper with the WarHorse Dirtcar series. Getting my microphone set up. Went live and man, my gain was kind of high. So heat race number 1's rolling out there on the racetrack. Looks like a fresh new tacky track here for the WarHorse Dirtcar series. Getting ready to rock and roll. Heat race number 1. 8 cars looks like they're going to be out there side by side. Desmond Bisbee, driver from the crazy state of California, will be starting on pole with Corey to the outside. You have Gilpin starting there in the 3rd place and Reeser right beside him. You have Brad and Jacob, Kyler, and then Justin Flagg rounding out the race field. As these drivers get side by side coming out of turn 4. Lap number 1, give it to Desmond. Corey's still right behind him as he tags the outside wall. They're going to be side by side with each other. Randy Reeser and Corey Silby. Working lap 3 of 10 now. Only 38 seconds into heat race number 1. A very tacky track. Side by side still for the 2nd spot. Multiple rows deep. Corey down to the bottom side. Randy Reeser up to the high side, side by side, coming across the line once again. Jamie Gilpin back there in the P4 spot, there in the number 11 machine. A little bit of pink there on that machine as he looks to the outside now of Corey. Down into turn at number 1. Desmond has absolutely checked out of the race field inside the cockpit mode of the 999 machine. We'll jump on back a little bit farther to Jacob Cook. Jacob Cook there in the P5 spot, halfway home to mama this time by. Everybody should be making the A main show. This heat race is all for the starting spot for the 100 lapper here at Eldora. Coming out of turn at number 4, Desmond is absolutely gone. That's a 29 machine. You see him just barely tap the outside wall right before the start-finish line. The number 12 machine of Justin Flagg, he's going to try to get into the picture now. Justin Flagg with the slide job, and now that driver, the number 12 machine, up to the top 5 spot. But here comes Jacob Cook fighting hard down to the bottom side. On back, Kyler Bruce running out the 7th spot. Then you have Gilpin. He is slipping and falling back very quick. He's in the 8th and final spot there, trying to get to the inside of the 31 machine of Kyler Bruce. Not going to do it, so he falls back in line. 2 laps to go around at Eldora. Our race leader, Desmond, is completely checked out. Has almost about a full straightaway length advantage. A 1.4 second gap for Desmond as he sees a white flag. We'll keep our eye on for the 2nd place spot as they race on. Randy Reeser and Corey down to the bottom side. Randy Reeser going to stay dedicated to the high side. Slide job by Corey. Crossover by Randy Reeser. Checkered flag on away. And that number 28 machine does look like he did capture that 2nd place. Corey 3rd, Brad 4th, Justin Flagg rounding out the top 5. Heat race 1 results up there on your race screen. A little bit of a rough start there for me. I went live, then it set a whole nother league. I tried a new setting for the whole YouTube thing, but that didn't work out. Desmond, Randy, Corey, Brad, Justin, Jacob, Kyler, and then Jamie Gilpin rounding out that heat race at number 1. Drivers already out there on the racetrack for heat race number 2, a 10-lapper. 8 drivers. And here's going to be the grid. Scooter Black from the crazy state of California, the number 5 machine. And Michael Kennedy from the great state of Texas, the Lone Star State. Home of the Buckies, the number 98. He'll be on the outside of the front row. Thomas Vickers, the number 1 machine. He'll be starting on the inside of the second row with Michael Blessing to the outside. You have Devin Nelson, the number 6 machine. He'll be starting there in the P5. Then you have Wesley with HRT Sim Racing back there in P6. You have Paul in 7th place, and Joy Nix, another great state of Texas driver, in the 8th place spot. So as they roll down the backstretch, pace lights. The pace light is off on the pace truck. And we're going green, flag racing, 10 laps. Scooter Black, Michael Kennedy, front row, step on the loud pedal, children. And here we go, side by side as they barrel down into turn at number 1. Scooter Black gets a very good jump on the race field. Almost 3 wide down there to the apex of turns 1 and 2. They all find themselves straight. And Michael Kennedy, he's moved himself up to the 2nd spot quite easily now, and here we go. Now we're 3 wide racing down the front stretch. Beating and banging everybody, trying to jockey there for the position. The number 1 machine, Thomas Vickers, they're right smack down into the middle. Side Paul Hollander, he taps the outside wall ride for a little bit. That slowed him way down. Down into turn at number 1 now. Michael Kennedy has caught the back bumper of Scooter Black, but we're keeping our eye on right here in the mid part of the pack. And that number 1 machine, he has been stuck in the wrong spot all the night long, and big time contact with the race leaders right in front of the race field. Before we go any farther, here is a replay right here. 5 and 98, they made contact right in front of the race field, and everybody just kind of piled right on in. So back to line mode, back to race mode. Wesley, he's going to be our race leader. Paul, P2 now. Michael, 3rd. You have Joy Nix back in the 4th spot. Rounding out the top 5 is going to be Devin Nelson. Thomas Vickers, Scooter Black, then Michael Kennedy's into the pits with 3 laps down now. And he'll be out of this heat race. 4 laps to go. Wesley and Paul, they have put up some very good battles all season long for the WarHorse Dirtcar series. They find themselves 1-2 right now on lap 7 of 10. We're 1 minute and 41 seconds into heat race number 2. The track was very tacky. They did reset it after the practice session. Classic Eldora. Line is moving all the way up to the outside wall. Michael Blessing does have that 3rd spot kind of locked down right now. Side-by-side battle. Jory Nix, he's going to throw a slide job on the number 6 machine of Devin Nelson. Nelson, he does a crossover. He's going to throw that sucker way down to the bottom side. And now Devin Nelson with the big-time slide job. Contact made as they come across the line. 2 laps to go in heat race number 2 now. The number 95 machine and Devin Nelson, the number 6 machine, as Devin threaded the needle there on the outside part of the racetrack. Still side by side, still swapping paint out there. White flag to go. Top 4, top 3 are all kind of lined out, so we're keeping an eye out here for this 4th spot. Devin Nelson does have P4 now. Uncontested. Jory Nix fell back to P5. But the guy with the checkered flag is going to be this driver right here, the 81 machine of Wesley. Paul going to round out the 2nd spot. Michael Blessing 3rd place. And a big-time crash for Michael Kennedy, Scooter Black, and Thomas Vickers. Heat race number 3. A little bit of race info at Eldora. Track length 0.44 miles. Temperature 76 degrees. Altitude 994. That's what the WarHorse Dirtcar series is racing with tonight. If you guys would like to join this section, go check out the WarHorse Dirtcar series all over there on the old Facebook page. Here's a grid. Brandon Freeberg, the 171 driver. Driver out of Illinois. He'll be starting on the top spot. Joey Reeder to the outside of him. Colton Willett, another Illinois driver, the 225. He'll be starting right on the back nerf bar of Brandon Freeberg. Justin Core will be running out that 2nd row. You have Scott Smith, driver out of the Midwest, a 53 machine. He'll be starting on the inside of the 3rd row. Chris Cox with Cox Gaming, the 515 machine HRT driver. He'll be starting there in the 6th spot. Then Travis Sinclair with the Rocket Esports, the number 13 machine, rounding out the race field. Sponsor here tonight, Diggs by Dirt One Racing, up there in your top right-hand corner. Heat 1 went nice and smooth. Heat 2 did not go very smooth. We'll see how heat race number 3 falls in and which category it falls in, as we are stacked up, packed up, getting ready to shimmy and shive down into turn at number 1. Brandon Freeberg, Joey Reeder, they make up the front row. Three wide racing here in the mid part of the racetrack. That is Chris Cox there on the high side, the 13 machine of Travis Sinclair working the bottom side part of the racetrack. You have Jason Corn in the 82 machine there making contact. Jason Corn and Scott Smith made contact right before turn number 3, and the 53 machine throwing a slider on his teammate. Scott Smith threaded the needle with this teammate of the 82 machine of Jason Corn, and they made a little bit of contact. Now Chris Cox, Chris Cox is on the attack mode. Third place, Colton Willett. Joey Reeder, he finds himself here in the second place spot. Joey Reeder been running very strong lately with the WarHorse Dirtcar series, still trying to pick up his first win. And then Brandon Freeberg, seems like he's been untouchable lately with this league. Coming across the line once again, Joey Reeder, the driver that's been pretty hot lately. Just cannot find himself a win. Brandon Freeberg powers himself back to the outside. Joey Reeder got a little loose there coming out of turn 2, and now Colton Will's going to try to take advantage. The 2225, the 22.5 driver down to the bottom side of Joey Reeder, not quite though. So they're going to fall back in place. Chris Cox and the 53 machine of Scott Smith, they find themselves side by side with 4 laps to go. Inside the cockpit mode now of Chris Cox, as he has Travis Sinclair throwing a monster slide job, drag race down the backstretch. Side by side down to the turn number 3, inside the visor cam once again with the 5th place driver of Chris Cox. Has Travis Sinclair there to the outside, and oh my goodness, is he clear? No, he's not. Everybody trying to fight for the same real estate out there on the high and scary side. Throwing slide jumps is the only way to pass. 2 laps to go around Eldora for heat race number 3. Brandon Freeberg has a race lead. Contact being made for the 3rd spot. Sorry, for the 4th spot. Brandon Freeberg with a 0.6 second lead. One more time around Eldora. Joey Reeder has the 2nd place pretty much locked up. Colton Willett 3rd place. Not so much. Travis Sinclair to the back bumper. Last time in turns 3 and 4, Colton Willett looks like he will be coming home in P3. Travis Sinclair 4th, Scott Smith 5th, Jason Corn and Chris Cox rounding out heat race number 3, and Travis Sinclair moved up 3 spots there in that heat race. Warm-up session is underway. I don't believe the WarHorse Dirtcar series will be doing the warm-up session. No, they won't. They throw the checker flag out there on the raceway, and we'll be going Mac Daddy Racing. The worst camera angle in iRacing is this spot right here. Those 2 4-wheelers. Not the biggest fan. So heat race number 3 kind of went somewhat smooth. Heat race 1 went smooth. Heat race 2 it got a little crazy. So as we get ready to go Mac and Daddy Racing, this is how the grid's going to line up. And man, points are pretty tight here. So getting ready to rock and roll. 23 drivers making the start. Only 1 driver going to come out with the checkered flag. 100 laps around Eldora for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series Dirt Late Models. Here we go with the grid. The driver that's starting on pole is Desmond Bisbee, the number 7 machine, driver out of California. Wesley Bronley, the HRT, the Sim Racing, the number 81 machine to the outside. And Brandon Freeberg, he's bounced himself to the inside of the second row with Randy Reeser to the outside. You have Paul in P5 and Joe in P6. Corey, 7th place, and Michael Blessing with Rocket Racing setups there in 8th place. Colton, driver out of Illinois, he'll be back there in the 9th place with Brad in 10th place. Devin Nelson, 11th. Travis Sinclair, he'll be rounding out that 12th spot. On down the list, 13th place, Justin Flagg. Jory Nix from the great state of Texas. You have Scott Smith, Jacob Cook, Thomas Vickers, Jason Korn, and Kyler Bruce, Scooter Black, Chris Cox, Jamie Gilpin, and Michael Kennedy, another great state of Texas driver. That's it. The field is set. We are side by side and getting ready to rock and roll with 100 laps. Eldora WarHorse Dirtcar Series. Green flag is out, and we are going to shimmy a shive down in turn number 1. Yellow flag is going to wave on lap number 3. Yellow flag very early into this A main feature as Desmond led all 3 laps there. Wesley right to the back bumper. Brandon Freeberg started in P3, and that's exactly where he ended up. So that was the top 3. But a very early caution out on this 100-lap race. Travis Sinclair is being shown red up on the program. We'll see what happened to the 13 driver, the all-green car, as he comes across the line and they barrel down to the turn number 1. Man, I don't know what happened. One more time, why not? Try a different camera angle. Slow-mo action. Number 1 machine. Trying to throw the slide job or try to squeeze right into the gap. Try to work the middle side. Yep, and there you go. Early contact. A little bit of net code, I think, for the 1 in the 13 machine. But Travis Sinclair, very fast driver. He'll be in the very back part of the racetrack now. Still very early on. They do have 2 fast repairs here tonight for this 100-lapper. Side by side down the backstretch. They're going to slowly roll into turn at number 3. The pace truck is off the racetrack. Wesley, Desmond, front row. Brandon and Paul there to the second row. Green flag back out. See how this all shakes out. Desmond goes straight to the high side, but here comes the 81 machine of Wesley down to the middle side, now down to the bottom side. Part of the racetrack. Wesley with a slide job early on Desmond. Crossover by the number 7 machine. And we are swapping for the top spot on lap number 5. The 7 machine taps the outside wall. Wesley gets into the back of him, and they're beating and banging. Swap and paint very early on. Only a handful of laps complete, and Desmond keeps tagging the outside wall. Come out of turn 4. 999 machine, that is Corey right smack dab there in the middle part of the racetrack. You have Brandon Freeberg down to the bottom side, and we are 3 wide racing down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Brandon Freeberg still working that bottom side part of the racetrack. He does have Justin Flagg right there behind him, right on the back bumper. Everyone works down into turns 1 and 2, trying to find some grip coming out of turn 2 now. Justin Flagg wants that bottom part of the racetrack, and he is being dedicated down there. Top 4 all single filed out next to the outside wall. Paul is our race leader there in the number 8 machine, and he just tags the outside wall now. Everyone fighting for the same real estate, and now Paul, he wants that lead back. He may try to throw the slide job. He had a check out of it. The 81 of Wesley Gronley, he had to thread the needle there to the outside part of the racetrack. Desmond now falls back to P3. He does have that third place uncontested, but Corey, Justin Flagg, Brandon Freeberg, they're all racing for that fourth spot. Brandon Freeberg did run the bottom part of the racetrack kind of early on. I guess the first 5 laps, he was down there to the inside wall trying to catfish his way around this place. After that, he moved straight to the outside wall, and he's been kind of making up some time, but he's kind of, honestly, just kind of been stalled out there. Justin Flagg, he's been working the inside part of the racetrack all race long, and he moved up. Now he has cracked the top 5. Justin Flagg has moved up 8 spots in the Mac Daddy Show. Corey has moved up 3. Desmond's lost 2. Paul has moved up 3 spots. And now Wesley, he is glued there to the outside wall, and he's going to lose all sorts of time. And here comes Paul once again down to the bottom side part of the racetrack. Contact made for the race lead coming across the line. Yellow flag's going to wave. Right when the leaders were coming across the line, pace struck back out on the raceway. So second caution is going to wave for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. Wesley and Paul putting up a very good fight. Desmond put up a pretty good fight as well. Scott Smith back there in the 7th spot. As everyone comes across the line, obviously caution laps will not count here. Should probably show the replay. Chris Cox, Devin Nelson is showing red up on the program. Chris Cox there into the middle part of the racetrack. Wrong spot, wrong time. Absolutely smashes the outside wall. The Ford machine goes flying. He does somersault, and someone else just absolutely came barreling in down the backstretch and could not stop. A lot of cars damaged in that one. They only have 2 fast repairs. Man, I hate to use a fast repair on lap number 13. Only 6 minutes and 27 seconds into this thing. Wesley, Paul, Desmond, top 3 still. Everyone kind of fighting for the same real estate there on the high side, but you do have some drivers all the way down to the inside wall, making up plenty enough time. We'll see how it all works out. Everyone loads up their right rear tire, smashes the gas pedal, back under green flag conditions. Desmond, he won on the high side. He got a good restart. Diamond cut it off at turn 4, and he went straight to the outside wall. Sorry, that was Wesley that did that. Desmond, he went to the bottom side. He's going to throw the big-time slider. Almost 3 wide for the race lead. Justin Flagg, that all-white machine, still working the bottom part of the racetrack as everyone else beats and bangs there on the high side part of the racetrack. Inside the cockpit mode now, Paul, the guy that's in 3rd, possibly 4th place, he's going to fight himself up to 2nd place, right on the back gas tank of the 81 machine of Wesley Gronley. Lap 16, and we are still swapping for the top spot. And Paul Hollolander has found himself 3 wide. He's going to try and squeeze the 81 up into the outside wall. And here comes a 7-4 car salute coming across the line. Desmond Bisbee found a little gap, a little opening, and he absolutely went for it. Everybody is bouncing off of each other very early on into this race. And Justin Flagg, the man I've talked about all race long, the guy that's minding his own business, does not have a scratch on his car, working the bottom side part of the racetrack, wants no part of the outside part of the racing line, has found himself in the lead now. Working in turns 3 and 4 on down the list. Michael Blessing, he's back to 8th place. Corey, he's in 9th place. Thomas Vickers rounding out the top 10. Joey Reeder, 11th place. Colton Willett, 12th place. Jamie Gilpin, Jacob Cook in 14th. Jory Nix rounding out P15. You have Michael Kennedy, Devin Nelson, Jason Korn, Randy Reeser. Travis Sinclair still back here in the 20th spot. I look for him to slowly start moving up as the laps wind down. Chris Cox in 21st, Scooter Black, then Brad rounding out the race field. So that's how the race field is on lap 21. Lap times, last lap times are up there on your screen. A 16.3 is what they're running. At least the top three are. Justin Flagg ran a 16.6. Brandon Freeberg a 16.7. As Racing Kit still continues up here in the top spot. Brandon Freeberg has multiple wins here for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. He has found himself outside of the top 5 right now as they drag race down the backstretch with a 53 machine of Scott Smith. Last lap times are slowly starting to fall down now. Paul with 16.5, Desmond a 16.5 as well. The best lap time out there on the raceway is a 15.8. So we are almost a 1 second off the fastest lap time here in the A main show. Michael Blessing, he has found himself there in the 10th spot, rounding out the top 10. Working kind of the middle side part of the racetrack, has that one machine of Thomas Vickers there to the outside. Vickers, he almost taps the outside wall there in that all black dirt late model machine. Working lap 26, Vickers smashes the outside wall not once, twice. He is absolutely glued to it, and he's going to lose 2 spots. Vickers lost a spot to Michael and Joey Reeder, so he now falls back to 11th place. Colton Willett, he's going to try to go on attack back here in P12. Jamie Gilpin, 13th. Devin Nelson, 14th. And Michael Kennedy rounding out the 15th spot. But our race leader right now is the number 8 machine. Moving up 4 spots in the Mac Daddy Show. Wesley, he started in 2nd place, and now he's still in 2nd place. But the driver that has moved up the most, the hard charger, up to 4th place is going to be Kyler Bruce, moving up 15 spots. And that number 31 machine. Last lap time for the 31, a 16.9. Race leader, a 16.4. So Bruce still slightly off the race pace with the race leader. We'll see how these lap times update once again as everybody comes across the line 3 wide with these 3 guys. And once again, Paul is 16.4. Kyler Bruce, a hard charger, the man that's in 4th place, ran a 16.6. Hard time racing back here. Justin Flagg, Brandon Freeberg right behind him. They're on the high side. You have Corey, the 999 machine. Kind of just a wad of cars right here. Thomas Vickers kind of has the best seat in the house. Sorry, Joey Reeder kind of has the best seat in the house with that 011 machine, kind of on the back end of this side-by-side racing, all for the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spot. Inside gyro mode now. Into turn straight 4, this wad of cars goes, and Joey Reeder has a complete roadblock here in front of him on lap number 33. Cannot find an opening. Looks down to the bottom side once again, but the bottom side really starting to slick up. Actually, this entire track is slowly starting to slick up way before the halfway point now. But Joey Reeder still a complete roadblock there in front of him, has nowhere to go. Can't go to the high side, can't go to the middle, and he can't go down to the bottom side. Side by side racing there in front of him with multiple rows. Thomas Vickers, he has looked pretty good there on the high side part of the racetrack. Vickers has moved up 9 spots here in the A main show. Kind of haven't really talked much about him, but he's starting to get aggressive with Brandon Freeberg. A little bit of contact made coming out of turn 4 there to the back bumper of him. Almost got him a little swirly as they go down the backstretch once again. Brandon Freeberg kind of running that mini type of slider line, the number 1 machine of Thomas Vickers. He has that right rear tire next to the outside cushion and just trying to rip the lip around it. Brandon Freeberg sliding him right into the apex of the corner. Did not do it that time, so they went side by side down to turn number 3. Vickers trying to crack the top 6 now with Brandon Freeberg there to the bottom side, and the number 1 machine of Vickers should be clear coming out of turn 2 now. And he is. So Vickers move him up to 6th spot and move him up 11 spots here in the Mac Daddy Show. Scott Smith, he's moved up 10, and Kyla Bruce still kind of stuck right here in the 4th spot as we are swapping for the race lead now. Paul Hollerlander, Wesley Gronley, and Desmond Bisbee. Top 3 drivers throw a blanket over them with 60 laps to go. Paul goes down to the bottom side. Paul's on an all-black machine. Wesley Gronley with the all-red machine. He does a switcheroo move down the front stretch side by side. You have Desmond Bisbee right behind him there in the number 7 machine. And we have a caution out on the raceway. The 82 machine looks like he got spun right around right before turns 3, right in front of the race leaders. Then the yellow flag is going to wave as the top 3 drivers were swapping for the top spot. '82 machine of Jason Korn. Showing red up on the program. See what happened to Mr. Korn here. Right before turns 3 as well. 82 machine, middle side part of the racetrack to 29 there to the high side. Man, just gets clipped. 29 gets loose coming out of turn 2. And there goes our top 3 race leaders right around it. So breaking down the A main, we have a lot of guys that did not have the best of heat races. Start in the back part of the racetrack and then find themselves all the way up into the top 5. Kyler Bruce, one of them. Scott Smith, Thomas Vickers, all those guys moved up double digits here in the A main. And right now they're sitting 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Kyler Bruce, I did notice he was matching the race leaders' lap times as they were swapping the top spot. So we'll see what that 31 machine, the 53, and the number 1 machine has. Brandon Freeberg, many wins here for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. He's back to P7 now. Kind of hasn't really been a factor here yet, though. See if his car comes in late. Pace shrugs off, green flag back out. We'll see how aggressive these racers get. They're going to get aggressive. They are leaning on each other down the backstretch. Wesley Gronley, he's going to put that machine there to the outside wall, and I feel like we're going to see this for many more laps. But Paul grabbed the lead after that restart, and he's going to try to hold on to it. Desmond, Kyler Bruce, here we go. It's a battle that I've been waiting to watch. A 31 machine there to the outside part of the racetrack. He's going to get around Desmond now. Desmond has been a big-time factor here for the top 3, here for the Mac Daddy Show. He has found himself barely holding on to the top 5 now. The 31 machine. Kyler Bruce working his way up to the top spot. 3 wide coming across the line in the number 1 machine. Thomas Vickers is up in the mess now as well. Vickers have been looking extremely strong there to the high side part of the racetrack, and that looks like where he's going to live and die by. As now Thomas Vickers, he has moved up 15 spots here in the A main show, and he's up to the P2. Paul Hollerlander trying to hold on to 3rd place, but now here comes Desmond back onto a hard charge. Single file down for the top 3. Paul's going to fall back to 4th. Kyler Bruce found himself next to the outside wall in top 5. Brandon Freeberg trying to hold on to 6th. Scott Smith 7th. Joey Reeder 8th. Michael Blessing 9th. Devin 10th. And this little wad of cars, this little pack of cars has been like this all race long for 48 laps. Only 3 caution flags have waved. And we are 2 laps away from halfway point. Daytime racing here at Eldora. How will that affect the track from nighttime racing? The gap is up there on your screen now. Wesley, a 1.1 second lead over Thomas Vickers, Paul Hollerlander, Kyler Bruce, and Desmond. Top 4 single file now. Desmond and Brandon. They're the next cars that are going to go to absolute war with each other. Inside the cockpit mode now with Desmond. halfway this time for the Eldora 100. Everybody's still on the lead lap besides Scooter Black. He's 23 laps down. I believe he's out of this race as well. So 22 drivers, 22 machines are still out there on the racetrack, beating and banging and throwing big time slide jobs, big setups. Everybody has the exact same setup here at Eldora. On board with Devin Nelson as he's holding down the top 5 spot. 3 wide racing back here. Chris Cox is in front of him, and they are big time beating and banging the 28 machine. He gets hit around like a ping pong ball. That was Randy Reeser, and he's out of this race. 3 wide back here for the back spot. I believe these racers do have a incident limit. I think that's what happened to Randy Reeser because he hit the inside car, then the outside wall, and then his car just vanished out of this race. I think he hit the limit, and the yellow flag's going to wave. Yellow flag back out on the raceway for the 4th time. Back under caution. We're going to have to restack them and repack them on lap 57 of 100. And we got some new time players in this thing now. Right at the halfway point. A lot of the guys that started in the back part of the racetrack has found themselves up into the mix. Swapping for the top spot. Thomas Vickers, Kyler Bruce, those are a couple of the examples. Brandon Freeberg, kind of been up there in the top 5, the top 6 all race long. Hasn't found himself up into the top 3 yet, but he is right there. Some drivers go into the pits to get their fast repair. We'll see what lap time they did. So all these drivers, Devin Nelson went in on lap 12. Chris Cox, Travis Sinclair went on lap 41. Justin Flagg, Jory Nix, Brian, Jason Korn. You have Jacob Cook, Paul Hollolander, Desmond, and Michael Kennedy have all pitted now. So the guy closest to the front with the fresh fast repair is going to be, looks like Devin Nelson. He's up to 8th place. Chris Cox pitted on lap 41, and Travis Sinclair rounding out the top 10. He also pitted on lap 41. So here we go. Back under green flag conditions. On board with Travis Sinclair outside the top 10, and you can see all that action there in front of him right now. Everyone trying to run the slider line, but no one is clear to actually slide it next to the outside wall. There's a lot of guys are side by side with each other as everyone barrels into turn number 3. Joey Reeder moved up to P6 now. Top 5 for Joey Reeder, battling it out for the top 5 spot. Joey Reeder started in the 6th spot, kind of been holding there all race long. 6th to 10th spot right now to the inside of Brandon Freeberg. Side by side, multiple drivers, a 53 machine. Chris Cox, they make contact. So they work down the backstretch and into turn number 3 now. On board with Joey Reeder still, working that 6th spot. big setups, make some very good racing here for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. And look at Chris Cox, a 515 machine. He has 4 wide there in front of him, beating and banging, coming across the line. Chris Cox gets to the back bumper of Joey Reeder, and we have a massive pileup in turns 1 and 2, and the caution is going to wave once again for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series here in the A main show. And Joey Reeder is stuck on the fence, and what a heartbreak of a night for that driver. Running good all race long, had a very good heat race, was up into the top 10 all night long, up into the top 5 for a slight bit, started there in the 6th spot, and ends his night with his dirt late model stuck onto the outside wall. 3 wide racing, the 225 machine barrels into pit road, and here comes Brandon Freeberg now, down to pit road on lap 63. Side-by-side racing, 3 wide, 4 wide, back down to 3 wide. Someone got hit around like a ping pong ball, and that just absolutely made chaos. We'll see what happened right here. We'll go back a little bit. Wreck happened right in front of these guys. Chopper mode, and man, just contact being made. Chris Cox had to check up big time, but he tapped the back bumper of somebody, and then everyone just kind of barreled on in. Brandon Freeberg back to P15 now after a fast repair. Back under green flag conditions though. Wesley still holding on to the race lead. Thomas Vickers has yet found himself lead a lap yet, but he has now moved up. He has been up to 2nd place for quite a while now. Kyler Bruce, P3. But Devin Nelson is up to P4. Then Scott Smith rounding out the top 5. Wesley Gruntley, though, still holding on to that top spot, has led many laps, and I believe he has led the most laps here for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. 26 minutes and 38 seconds into the A main show. Vickers still holding P2, side-by-side racing. Devin Nelson, he had the thread of the needle there to the outside part of the racetrack to get around Kyla Bruce, and down into turns 3 and 4, he dished the high side and goes right back and goes right down to the bottom side part of the racetrack. Can Kyler Bruce capitalize now on the high side part as he tries to get a good run down the back straightaway? Devin Nelson still being dedicated there to the bottom part of the racetrack, and I'm afraid he may give this spot up to Kyler Bruce. Kyler Bruce there side by side with him down into turn number 1. Coming out of turn number 2 now, ripping the lip is Kyler Bruce, and yeah, Devin Nelson looks like he may be losing that top 3 spot now. Scott Smith back to P5. Desmond is in 6th place, and Jamie Gilpin. Haven't talked much about this number 11 car, but always puts on a very good show for this league. He's working the bottom side of the racetrack in there in turns 1 and 2. Gilpin moved up 15 spots here in the A main show, and right now he's being shown there in the 7th place. Gilpin has not pitted yet either. His car looks very clean. Doesn't have very much damage on it whatsoever. Inside the top 10. Check it all on board with Freeberg. He's up to that 12th spot now after that fast repair on lap 62. Almost everybody has had a fast repair besides the top 3. And then Gilpin back there in 7th place. Scott Smith in 5th place has not had a fast repair either. 3 wide. The 999 machine of Corey there to the bottom side part of the racetrack. You have Justin Flagg. Justin Flagg was running extremely well while the track was a little bit more tackier there to the bottom side of the raceway. But then about lap 20 or lap 30, he kind of just fell off the race, and haven't talked much about him. Justin Flagg started back in the 13th spot, and right now he finds himself there in the 13th spot. Lap 73 of 100. Everybody trying to still jockey for position. Still the top leader, though, is Wesley. Thomas Vickers right on the back bumper. Coming down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. A lot of wall banging for these top guys. Down the back stretch into turn at 3. Track completely slicked off now. Trying to put that right rear tire as close as he can to the outside wall and just let her eat. Vickers looks like he's just going to buy his time now as we are just shy of a 30-minute marker here in the A main show. Right rear suspension, watch this tire. It is as close as he possibly can get it to the outside wall. Kyler Bruce has an uncontested 3rd place right now. Desmond still has an uncontested 4th place. And then Scott Smith and Devin Nelson, they're going to be side by side with each other, all for this top 4 spot. 53 machine. I believe he found himself spun at one point, or was that the 82 machine? I believe that was Jason Korn. Found himself spun, I believe, for the 3rd caution, and right now he's up to the 7th spot. As the field is starting to get separated now. Our race leaders are entering in turns 3 and 4. Kyler Bruce back here, and look at this. Desmond trying to go for a Hail Mary of a slide job. Did not make it work there in turns 3 and 4. Track map up there on your race screen. Leaders are entering in turns 3 and 4. The 15th, 16th, and 14th place drivers are just now coming across the line. So we could be catching a lap of traffic here soon. Leaders are next to the outside wall. These 3 drivers working the kind of the middle part, bottom side part of the racetracks in turns 3 and 4. 20 laps to go for the Eldora 100 lapper. Who can hold on to the top spot? And we have now done it. We have caught lap traffic. Wesley Gronley trying to get around the 29 machine. Up Jacob Cook. Jacob Cook tries to stay out of the way there to the bottom part of the raceway, and they're going to do it. The top 2 drivers get around the very first lap car of the race. Travis Sinclair is next up. And Wesley now has pulled a little bit of a gap on 2nd place. Not much, though. Still striking distance for Thomas Vickers, our hard charger. Kyler Bruce, Desmond still battling it out back here. Desmond, bottom side part of the racetrack on lap 84. 32 minutes and 7 seconds into the A main show. We have a battle for the top spot. We have a battle for this 3rd spot now. The number 7 machine looks like he might be a little bit quicker than Kyler Bruce. Slide job for P3, parks it there on the front nose. Kyler Bruce had to hit the brakes big time as Desmond wanted that spot. He needed that spot, and he absolutely went and got that spot. Parked it there on the front nose of the 31 machine with a big time slide job with 15 laps to go. So move Desmond up to P3 now. Kyler back to P4. Desmond is in 5th place with Scott Smith. They're going to duke it out for the top 5 spot. 53 of Scott Smith there to the high side. Devin Nelson still working the bottom side part of the racetrack there in the all-black number 6 machine. Last lap times up there on your screen. Thomas Vickers ran a little bit quicker than our race leader. Everyone else, 17.1, and we have some 17.3s, and on down the list, side by side for a top 5. 100 lapper, I would absolutely love to finish with a top 5. Desmond, bottom side, 53 is Scott Smith, still trying to work that middle side part of the racetrack. He has not moved that thing next to the outside wall yet. Really liking that middle side part of the raceway. Side by side coming across the line once again. 11 laps to go for the race field. Check up on board with the race leader now. Outside shot of the raceway. They have a clear track in front of them. Next driver to be a lap down is Brandon Freeberg. They're in the 12th spot as the race leaders work down the backstretch and turns 3 and 4, nose to tail. Thomas Vickers is still just waiting and buying his time. Hunting him down, stalking him. Wesley gets into the wall. Thomas Vickers, he looks down to the bottom side now. Now could we have a battle for the race lead? No, Vickers going to tuck right back in, right to the back bumper. Vickers smashes the wall once again and turns 1 and 2 as they work down the backstretch. Third place, they have a full straightaway advantage over third and fourth. Working lap 93 of 100. Kyler Bruce, P4. Scott Smith, 5th place. Jason Korn is being shown in 7th. Michael Kennedy moved up 15 spots, but he's in 8th place. Corey's 9th. Colton, 10th place. Brad is 11th. Brandon Freeberg is on the verge of being a lap down. Justin Flagg is a lap down. The first car of the lap down at 13th. Jacob Cook, Travis Sinclair, and then Joey Reeder back here in the 16th spot. Everybody else, 17th on down, is out of this race. So it's just 5 laps to go now here at Eldora for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. Wesley and Thomas Vickers have been nose to tail all race long. Neither of these drivers have pitted to get a fast repair. So they got some beat up, some worn out race cars as they try to hold on to that outside cushion. Desmond, he made a hard charge up to the 3rd spot, made it a very aggressive move on Kyler Bruce. Devin Nelson, Scott Smith, goodness gracious, kids, get away from each other. Still side by side with each other for about 20 laps now. But here comes Jason Korn reeling up to their back bumper. You have Michael Kennedy in the mix as well. He's back in 8th place. Corey Silsby back in 9th. With Brad there to the back bumper there in the number 4 machine. Haven't talked much about Brad Herman. Got into a crash early on. Actually, he kind of just was in the wrong spot the wrong time. But the number 4 machine, he has cracked the top 10 now. Back up front, though, we have to keep an eye out on for the race leaders. Working lap 98 of 100, 36 minutes and 12 seconds into the A main show. You do not want to mess up now. You've gone too far, too long to mess up. 2 laps to go for Eldora this time by. Into turns 1 and 2. The race leaders, right rear tire next to the outside wall, and you got to know it. You've got to know that Vickers is waiting to throw a monster time slide job. Can Wesley capitalize and do a crossover? Here we go. White flag out on the race field. Thomas Vickers does not try it in turns 1 and 2. He stays right there to the back bumper of Wesley down the backstretch. And here we go for the last time. Wesley Gronley, he tries a block to slide job, and Thomas Vickers hits the inside wall. And that's going to do it for the race. Checkered flag waves for the 81 machine. Thomas Vickers, 2nd place. Desmond, 3rd. Kyler Bruce is going to come home with the 4th place. Scott Smith, P5. Jason Korn with 6th place, possibly 7th. Michael Kennedy, 8th. Colton and Corey with the top 10. That's going to do it for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series 100 lapper. Wesley Gronley led the most laps, finished on top. Thomas Vickers with the hard charge up to 2nd place. Waited and waited and waited all the way down to the last lap in turns 3 and 4. Once he tried to throw the slide jump, just tapped the inside wall and ruined that thing. And Desmond rounding out the top 3. We'll jump into their Discord page, get an interview with the top 3 drivers. So after 100 laps, 37 minutes and about 30 seconds, that's how the lineup is going to fall. And the top 3 drivers, Wesley, Thomas, and Desmond. And the number 7 machine of Desmond. You got me, man.
Yep.
Dude, 100 laps here at Eldora. The track was somewhat tacky when you started this race on lap number 1. All the way to lap 100, man. This track was completely gone now. How was it?
It was long, and it was pretty rough. Started on the pole, then me, Wesley, Paul, we were racing hard there and lost the lead there, and then I tried to work my way back up and threw a slider, but I wasn't clear, and then got wrecked, and had a pit and then make my way back up, but it was fun though.
Fixed setups. Did your car handle a lot different from lap one all the way to lap 100, or was it really just the track conditions?
In the beginning, the set felt pretty good, and it was a little tight, but when the track slicked off, that's when it really started to kick in, so felt good though.
There to the high side part of the racetrack definitely looked like it was a fast way around, but man, probably the last 30 laps or so, we've seen a lot of drivers work that middle side part of the racetrack. So there in the closing laps, where did you find yourself running?
I was just switching back and forth. I was running top, then I would switch to the middle. Seemed like the top was still faster, so I just kind of focused up there, try not to hit the wall.
Lots of slide jobs here at Eldora. We was watching you, and I believe it was Kyler Bruce. As actually we see you wrecking right now here on the stream. Almost wrecked. Got it up on two wheels, but man, you and Kyler Bruce battled it out for a long time. Then you finally went for a big time slide job, and finally cracked the top three.
Yeah, that was a fun race. It was a good battle. I mean, all the drivers were racing clean. It was fun.
Good deal, man. You got any big time shout outs that you like to give?
I'd like to thank my team, Team No Love, Apollo Race Paints, Brooks Motorsports, House of Speed, Cargo, er, Hillgore Consulting. I'd like to thank you guys for putting this on, and thank the drivers for a nice, clean race.
Very cool, man. We'll see you next Thursday.
See ya.
Desmond coming home with the top three after 100 laps. Started on pole, battled it out, found himself side by side, found himself 3 wide, 4 wides. Slide job city for that driver. He had a long night. But the driver that the hard charger, and the guy that's finished in second place is Thomas Vickers. And Thomas, man, what a race you had! I do not believe you had to use a fast repair and found yourself up to second place, and you was right on the back bumper of a Wesley all night long.
It was a great race. I mean, Wesley was fast, and I was trying to catch him, but I don't think I could find a line that would allow me to pass him and do it cleanly.
I know you was on the back bumper for quite a while, man. Looked like you was just buying your time, and he was going to wait for the last lap to try to throw a slide job. And down in turns 3 and 4, you tried it, but it looks like you just hit the inside wall.
Yeah, I dove in too hard. I was gonna try to stick it on the inside and trying to find that grip right there and try to pass him that way, but I dove in too hard and hit that inside wall.
Do you wish you would have done it a little bit sooner, or done it with even like 10 laps ago?
No, I think it would have killed my speed, and he would have gained more away from me, and I had to gain it back. I think the best lap was the last lap.
Man, hard charger finished up in the second spot, man, here in the 100 lap Eldora race, man. So congratulations. You got any shout outs that you like to give?
I just like to thank y'all and Brandon and them for putting this league on. It was a great race, and thank you.
Very cool, man. Thomas Vickers. They're finishing there in the second spot, but the driver that led the most laps was up there in the top spot almost all race long. Swip swap in there in the early parts, but halfway point, Wesley, you absolutely got on to that top spot and did not look back.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. I was just holding on for dear life. All those guys are hell of drivers, and it got pretty hairy. My plan was to get to the lead and take it easy a little bit, set the pace, and then Hollander just come flying up there, and those restarts were so crazy that he got up there, and one time he was trying to throw a slider, and I don't think he meant to get into me, but he got into me, so I was like, I guess it's time to get elbows up, and then Thomas about gave me all I could handle right there. That was wild. I had fun.
Yeah, it seemed like Thomas followed you for a good 20 laps or so. They're on the white flag, or coming to the white flag. What was going through your mind? Did you think Thomas was going to try to throw a slide job in turns 1 and 2, or what was going through your mind?
I knew he probably wouldn't throw it in 1 and 2 because I was really good there. He was really good in 3 and 4. So I figured 3 and 4 would be his money line because I would, he knew I'd try to block or something. So, because, the slider's coming. So I figured 3 and 4 would be the place. And I luckily guessed right, and he threw it a little deep. But the honest thing that was going through my head the whole time there, those last 30, 40 laps, and then especially the last lap, is 3 words: don't fuck up. And that was the biggest goal.
A lot of lap traffic here tonight, but looked like all the lap traffic was kind of out of your guys' way.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all those guys. I know how tough it is to run good in this league, and sometimes when maybe the setup just doesn't fit you, maybe it's not your best track. I appreciate those guys, kind of getting out of the way a little bit. I understand, hold your line and stuff, and I would have understood either way if they were up top. They got a little hairy there one time because Reeder caught somebody to pass him for a spot, and I thought he was going to go to the top, which I wouldn't have blamed him if he did. But I got a little worried, but I know my buddy Joey, he knew I was coming, as I got lucky enough he stayed out of the way.
Well, man, you started on the outside of the front row, found yourself there in the top spot after 100 laps, so congratulations. You put on a very good show, a very fun show to watch, and a broadcast as well, man, so congratulations. You got any shout-outs that you like to give?
First off, thank you, man, for doing this broadcast. You do just a spot on job, dude. Just fantastic. The guys over at WarHorse put this on. Sinclair, Freeberg, all them. I think Flag as well. That he was here tonight, but it was really good that they put this together. I've been so close to winning at Charlotte. I was battling for the lead with like 4 laps to go, and Net Coach spun me with Sinclair, and then at Wheat Sport I stepped on my own and. I put it in the inside wall, so it feels really nice to finally get the monkey off my back and get in victory lane. But I got to give a shout out to all my boys over at HRT. Timmy, Murph, Todd, Layman, Chucky, Dakota. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Biggie and Scotty Williams, who actually races here and has won here this year at Eldora and in a modified, which is pretty cool. But shout out to all those guys. Our sponsor, Cordy Motorsports, Knuckle Dragon Concrete, which is Josh Hessen's business. He's also a teammate. I can't believe it. Honestly, it was a hell of a race. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate all the guys racing me clean. And Thomas right there with me. It could have gone either way, and I'm glad I was able to come out on top.
Very cool, man. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
Thanks, man. Wesley Gruntley there with the top spot, and what a race that those drivers put on here tonight. Here's a final results up there on your race screen. Not those. This is a final results up there on your race screen. Wesley Gruntley, Thomas Vickers, and Desmond up there to the top 3. Kyler Bruce, he finished there in P4 after moving up 15 spots. You have Scott Smith, Devin Nelson, Jason Korn, Michael Kennedy. There for 8th place, Colton Will at 9th, Corey 10th. With Tail Tag and Motorsports, that's going to round out the top 10. You have Brad and Brandon Freeberg, Justin Flagg, Jacob Cook, Travis Sinclair, Joey Reeder, Gilpin, and Jory Nix. They're all in the 18th spot. A little bit farther down, I believe, Chris Cox, Paul, Michael, Randy Reeser, and Scooter Black. And honestly, there are some surprise drivers that made it up there to the top spots, and some drivers that I would probably pick to win this thing or at least get a top 3. Man, they finished way back there. Some didn't finish a race, some finished a lap down. So, man, it was fun. We got a lot of comers and goers here for the 100 lapper here for Eldora for the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. So that's going to do it, man. If you guys like to join this league, WarHorse Dirtcar Series, join them on Facebook. Go look them up on Facebook. Diggs by Dirt One Racing up there in the top right-hand corner. That's going to be tonight's sponsor. And it was fun. 100 lappers. And only 4 caution flags, possibly. Possibly there was 6 caution flags. There was 1 on lap 3, couple more, and then after that, we had a good 30 lap, possibly even 40 lap race to the very end. The lap cars kind of stayed out of the raceway, side by side for the top 2. We've seen some pretty cool wrecks. A lot of drivers used our fast repair, but I think there was 5 drivers that did not use our fast repair and made it all the way to the end with the same car, without pitting. So once again, this is WhiskeyOval_TV. Much appreciated. All the likes and shares. Very cool to see. Live here on Facebook and or YouTube. Sorry about the title. This is a WarHorse Dirtcar Series. Until next time, I'll be back live with the WarHorse guys next Thursday. Where do we go? They go to Cedar Lake Speedway for 75 laps. Then they go to Fairbury. They go to Knoxville, Bristol Dirt, and Charlotte. So we are over halfway, and we have 5 races remaining. Cedar Lake, Fairbury, Knoxville, Bristol Dirt, and Charlotte. I will have the updated points list for the next race for Cedar Lake, 75 lapper. And we'll see. We'll see how everything shakes out. Coming to the tail end of the WarHorse Dirtcar Series. season number 1. Digs by Dirt 1. So once again, much appreciated everyone for tuning in. We'll be back live with them Thursday. I'll be back live broadcasting the National Dirt Racing Association this Sunday at 4 o'clock Central. And then we have the Nodak Outlaw Sim League, the 410 Sprint Cars, Sunday night at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So until next time, everyone, please take care. Enjoy some iRacing.com. Be a nice person. Make sure you guys tune in next Thursday. Till then, I'll talk to you guys later.